Hey, I'm back with another beverage review. So today I'm going to be talking about Nitro. There we go, Nitro. The Vida Loca Mockarita, lime, orange, and botanicals. So it's a mocktail. It's got no alcohol in it, but is meant to taste like a cocktail, hence the mocktail category or title it has on it. It's got 80 calories, well, less than 80 calories. That's what it says. Less than 80 calories. I think you can see that. It has 78, and that is for the whole can, so that's good. The ingredients are filtered water, non-GMO sugar, lime juice from concentrate, natural flavorings, bitter orange flavoring, quillea extract. Quillea? I have no idea what that is. Citric acid and ascorbic acid. All right, so it says that it's lime, orange, and botanicals. Okay, so it's got actual lime juice and then bitter orange flavoring. I'm not sure what the botanicals is. It does have natural flavorings and the quillea extract, so maybe that is the botanicals. It says it's nitro charged, so I wonder if it's going to have a nitrogen capsule in there like you have with the Guinness. We'll see. GMO free, gluten free, allergen free, alcohol free, vegan, no preservatives, no HFCs. I don't know what HFCs are. Less than 80 calories per can, no artificial colors or flavorings. Serving suggestion is to serve chilled and pour into a margarita glass and with a salt rim. Well, I do not have a salt rim, and I'm not pouring it into a margarita glass, but I do have festive glassware. I thought this looked tropical. The Lily Pulitzer collab she did with Target many moons ago. I got these glasses then, and they make me happy. So we're going to use that today. Let's open it up. Oh, hope you could hear that. That was pretty loud. Maybe there is nitrogen capsule in there. So I'm going to do a hard pour because I think that's what you're supposed to do with nitrogen floated drinks. Okay, it does all fit in here. Yeah, there's something in here. So I think it's got a nitrogen thing in there, which they did that nitrogen Pepsi like a few years ago. It said you needed to do a hard pour. What I found is that it creates a softer bubble. It's not as soft drinky as like a soda would be. So let's see how it tastes. It does not seem carbonated at all. It doesn't taste carbonated. I'm not sure what that nitrogen is supposed to do for it. So if I smell this, it smells very like rind forward, citrus rind. I mean, it smells very good, but it's very rindy smelling. So not really juicy smelling, more of like that rind scent. It does not taste carbonated. It is very juicy. It is very limey. So you taste both like the lime juice and the lime rind. And you're probably also tasting the bitter orange because it does taste more complex than just lime juice. It's softer than if it was just lime juice. It does taste like I said, more complex than like a limeade would be. But I don't know that I fully get the margarita from it. So the bitterness of the rind flavor, I guess, kind of mimics that like alcohol aftertaste to make it seem, it almost tastes like grapefruit rind. And it is surprisingly fresh tasting for something that was in a can. And maybe that is what the nitrogen does, is it keeps it from tasting like a can. And I do agree that it doesn't just taste like limeade, like it tastes like something that was made for an adult, not just for a child to enjoy. It does taste more complex like a cocktail would. It's just that margarita has such a distinct taste profile to it. And maybe if I had made the salt rim, I would feel that this tasted like a margarita, but I don't think it tastes like a margarita. And I think that's because, to me, that tequila flavor is a very important part of the margarita flavor, and this doesn't have that. So I would rather them call it something different than something that has a very distinct flavor to it. I like this cocktail. It's very good. I do think it takes the place of a cocktail, but I do not think that it's a margarita. So I would give it probably a B, maybe a 7 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10, in that I really like the flavor. I would not be upset if I had this in place of a cocktail, but if somebody told me they were giving me a margarita and they gave me this, I would not think that it was a margarita. I also, with it being in a can and it's saying that it is nitro, it makes me think it's going to be carbonated, and it's not. So I feel like there are a couple things about this that are just not great advertising for what you get. Because you're associating it with things you already know, and it doesn't fit any of those things. I mean, I'm thinking about like nitro coffee isn't carbonated, it's just very creamy. This isn't creamy either. It's very sharp. It is very tart and bitter. So, like I said, it is a complex flavor that tastes like it was made for adult consumers. And I like the flavor a lot. It's just, I've said this before, when something comes in a can, and in this instance, it says that it's nitro, I think it's going to be carbonated. So it not being carbonated was kind of a bummer. Calling it a margarita and not doing something to create that tequila flavor is also kind of a bummer. If you just called it like some other lime titled thing, like a lime, well, you don't want to call it a spritzer because it's not carbonated. I'm not sure, but make it its own thing and then it would be good. But by trying to call it something that I already know and then not getting there leaves me wanting something different than what I'm getting. They marketed it just differently. I would probably give it like an 8.5 or a 9. But with how it's marketed, it's like a 7, which, isn't bad.